order the phone. I tell him, and he goes, that's not early enough. I need internet. And I was like, okay, so what, do you want me to cancel it? Yeah. Then just walks away.
Yo lo único que te digo, necesito internet mientras yo esté aquí, que va a ser mucho tiempo, que no voy a trabajar por mucho tiempo, necesito estar comunicado con los míos. Pues si tú no puedes entender eso, qué pena.
Specifically on your phone. My question is why you need internet so bad? I've got an iPhone, I've got an iPad, I've got a computer, the whole house runs on internet. Whoever you need to talk to for these next 2 days while waiting for your phone, you can talk to.
No puedo, realmente. Necesito mi privacidad. No quiero preguntarle a ella por el celular de ella.
When the signs start to appear. Welcome to another edition of Moving Mad. And of course, we've got Manuel and Ashley. And the reason why I say the first signs is because the way he's behaving. To be fair, these aren't even the first signs. I feel like these are the first clear signs of what these intentions may be. So Ashley buys him a phone, orders him a phone. It's coming in 2 days, but he's upset that the phone isn't here right now, but does not want to use internet off of any of her devices because he wants his privacy. Interesting. Very interesting. Everybody deserves their privacy, but in this situation, it seems a bit off. No, in fact, it is off. So now it makes you wonder, why are you actually here? Are you actually here because you want to be with Ashley, or are you here because you have another agenda? Which is something that we're going to uncover throughout this episode. So with that being said, like, subscribe. And now let's dive in a little bit deeper to what the hell is going on.
That was absolutely ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous. You sit here and act like an ass when I get you a brand new cell phone and you tell me essentially to kick rocks because it wasn't early enough. So yes, that was not nice for you to say. You want respect, you give respect. That's how this works here.
Nunca fui grosero ni nada de eso. Ella solamente explotó. Porque ya los genes de ella es así.
Let's talk about respect, to be fair, because that's a very good point. So far, we haven't seen respect being given with these two. And for me personally, I'm going to feel like there's been disrespect on both sides. She's not told him that she's a witch and other things, you know what I mean, which isn't a nice thing to do. But also at the same time, though, he hasn't told his family, or he has told his family now, but he didn't tell him before he left. It's like there's a lack of consistency of genuineness in this relationship so far. But right now, we can definitely say that when it comes to Manuel's attitude, his attitude is definitely off the rocker. But the thing that I couldn't fathom was when he said she exploded, it's in her genes, it's who she is. I was like, Rob, what do you mean it's in her genes? What is that supposed to mean? I really want to know what you think that means when he says it's in her genes, it's just the way she is, when he spoke about how she exploded. Because the way I looked at the situation, the man wasn't exactly showing her much respect. Maybe he's not used to women raising their voice. Now, I'm not saying that raising the voice is something that should be happening ever in a relationship. I personally wouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? It's a very disrespectful thing to do, whether it's raising your voice, whether it's calling someone out in a negative way, or anything that kind of just speaks disrespect to your partner. I personally just don't run with that stuff. This is what I'm saying, okay? And maybe he's used to something different. Maybe he's used to women being a bit more subtle, being a bit more quiet. Maybe he's used to women being a bit more submissive. I don't know. But the way he has reacted to Ashley is very, very... It was strange to me when he just said that it's in her genes. That one kind of touched me a little bit. So I got to really know your feedback on that one. But either way, though, these two, if they survive this season, I would be hella surprised, because right now the cracks... Well, they're not cracks. They're pretty much earthquakes right now, if you ask me personally. Well, at least they're going in that direction. But we continue.
Something with his family?
I'd be a fool to not think about the fact that Manuel might be coming here on my back so he can meet up with his family. He has family in New York City. He has family in Newark.
Does that worry you?
It didn't until his people started calling so aggressively. They called 9 times.
Like, that's weird, Ashley.
Isn't that weird? Like,
That's what I'm
it's weird. Why are you calling so much? I didn't know who you guys were when he was over in Ecuador.
I'm not gonna lie to you though, when I first saw Ashley come on the scene here, I was like, this woman is annoying, man. She's just too loud and just too dramatic. But then, like, sometimes she kind of grows on me. But I think maybe that's because I'm from the UK, you know, and I think maybe just the accent sometimes when she says certain words, they just land in a certain way. I'm just like, that sounds kind of cool. But to be honest with you, it's not something that I could tolerate for a very long time. Do you know what? I apologize. This has nothing to do with the whole freaking video, but let's just get back on topic real quick, okay? Sometimes I get fascinated by accents. What can I say? But with that being said, though, this is where it gets more interesting, isn't it now? We are now discovering that he's got family in the States. And Ashley makes a very good point. She had no idea about this family back in Ecuador. And now all of a sudden he's here. Now all of a sudden she knows about the fact that he's got family in Ecuador, in the States, in New York, and Newark. That is very suspicious because she already said though, and this is the thing, but this is where it's her own fault. She already knows that this guy does not always disclose everything. He always keeps things to himself. She said this at the very beginning of the very first episode, okay? And she did say that that is somewhat of a concern. So the fact that she still decided to get in a relationship with him, still decided to help him to come to the States, that is fully on her. You know what I mean? There is no point I can sit and say to you, well, you know, I can't defend Ashley in this matter. Not that I'm trying to, just what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say to you is that at the end of the day, the signs were there. And the signs were there to an extent where she told us about the signs. She told us legit that, hey, this guy does not always tell the truth. This guy does not always tell the full truth. He always keeps things secretly. He has hidden agendas. And I don't know if I can trust that. Meanwhile, she was keeping her one little secret of her being a witch. So in reality, if he has come to the States to use her, so therefore he can finally run away to New York to see the rest of his family who are clearly ringing her phone like there's no tomorrow, well, there's only one person you can look at in the mirror and blame, and that is you, because the signs were there, but you did not want to acknowledge them. And this is what happens when people don't acknowledge signs as if that's freaking in front of them. You end up being used and abused. And if that's the case, you should have paid attention. I know I always pay attention, that's for sure. But let's continue.
He's not here for them. He's on a K-1 visa. He is here for this relationship. They are secondary. I'm not saying this man is here for a visa. I truly believe he loves me. That if things don't work out, and if we don't get married, he has no intention of going back to Ecuador.
Damn.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not looking good, is it now, dearie? It's crazy because she alludes to the fact that even if they don't get married, he's more than willing to stay in America illegally. That's what it sounds like she was saying there too. But you know what though? The next stop is finding out a little bit more dirt, a little bit more truth.
Quiero conocer usted en el futuro.
Sería bonito conocernos.
Ya poco a poco tenemos tiempo y a ver si que me pego un vuelo, es decir, a visitar a la familia.
¿Y cuántas familias tiene?
Mucha familia.
Mucha familia.
Primos, tíos.
Well, he has a lot of family in New York. I thought that he had some, but Mercy said mucho.
Oh, okay. So we got cousins and uncles, and there's many. Is it mucho? Is that what you said again? If I got it wrong, I do apologize. But many family members in New York. And also, I'd assume in Newark as well. So that's quite interesting. So if it's me now, or if it's you in this position, what would you be thinking? Would you be thinking that this man is only here to use you to get a green card? He's only here to use you to be close to family? Because, I mean, look at it this way. And this is what happens when people are not fully transparent. You know, and this is why transparency matters so much. The fact that he never ever spoke about having family in the States before coming there when they were in Ecuador, that's a big red flag. A big red flag. But like I said before, Ashley was in a position where she could have easily found this information, but she didn't. Because she allowed him to continue being himself, and him being himself means someone that will never always disclose everything, someone that will always keep certain things to himself because he doesn't want to share everything. And clearly, we know why. Because he has hidden agendas that's only going to benefit him. Nothing else but, and even when she said, I hope to meet you guys one day, he was like, yeah, slowly. Does that mean maybe not at all? I do wonder, but here's the thing that we can guarantee based on what's being said here. Whether or not they get married, he may just be staying in the USA anyway. And you know what though, that'll be very interesting because this will become I think, first ever cast member of 90 Day Fiancé to actually legally stay in the States. And boy, if that happens, and then they catch him, I'll be here to report it. That's all I can say for that one. But either way though, you guys let me know what you're thinking down below and we can talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.